And we are back. I'm telling you about a book. It's called This Time It's About Me. It's a 60-day journey to discover how the Bible addresses modern day struggles. Joining us now to share a little bit more is Ruth Langhorn, who is also the pastor, motivational speaker, and the author of This Time It's About Me. And welcome.
Thank you.
Good.
Glad to be here.
Well, I want it to be about me. So you tell me
It
about you
is
and
right
how to make
about now.
Right. Thank you. Well, tell me about your devotional. Obviously, it's really about self-care and putting self first too, right?
Yes, it is. This book was inspired. I'm a mom of 8 children.
No.
Yes.
Get out. Okay.
And so for a long time, I didn't know how to focus on me because all of my love, my heart, everything went to everyone else. And so the Lord really dealt with me about writing something for women to motivate them through scripture, to learn how to look at themselves and see themselves and understand who they are. It's called identity. And you won't find identity unless you begin to know who you are and whose you are.
So walk me back a little bit. So you're taking care of kids, right? You're a mother, you're having life, but it seems like life is escaping you because you're
Right.
taking care of everybody else?
My attention is on everybody else, making sure everybody else is okay. But I have dreams and I have things that were placed in me that I couldn't identify because I was so focused on everybody else.
So walk us through the devotional. What do people learn, more specifically about how to care for self?
Right. Taking time out for you. A lot of times I think there's a guilt in caregivers, moms. They feel like if they take a moment for themselves, they're being selfish. But self-care is not selfish. It's stewardship. You must learn how to take care of you. You must learn how to steward yourself in order to help anybody else. So we get lost sometimes.
Yeah. And so you also got a book signing coming up?
I do. I'm super
Yeah.
excited about that. Yeah, it's this Saturday at the Mount Haven Bar and Grill.
Mount Haven, right?
Yes, it's in the Bronx, 1 Bruckner Boulevard. We're going to have an amazing time. It's going to be a lot of community coming together, other moms and people who are just excited about this book. The other author, the co-author of this book is Michelle Lazarick. She won't be able to make it, but I'm going to lift her up and begin to push her too because she was an essential part of helping me create this book.
So I take it with what you're saying, there had to be some sort of a breaking point for you?
It was.
Okay, where was that? When was that?
Yeah, I think it was probably when my oldest son, because my oldest son is turning 27 next year. And I started the church and God spoke to me and he said, I've called you to do more. My children are getting older and I need you to help women find out that there's more inside of them. The struggle you went through, the halt you went through, I don't want other women to go through that. I want you to begin to reveal your walk and tell your story. Build a community because there's a lot of you out there that I'm calling to do more, to write books, to begin to start your business. I'm heavy into entrepreneurship. I call it mompreneurs. I gather all the mompreneurs together and I want you to motivate them and really begin to encourage them. Be what you didn't have because I didn't have people to motivate me. I was stuck in a rut of raising children.
And was there a point where you were just frustrated in the process? Not saying that you don't love your kids, right? Because I tell people
Exactly.
it's not that you don't love your kids, but was there a point where you became like frustrated and said, listen, you know what, this is just too much?
Exactly. My thought was there has to be more. There has to be more. And so in finding out, really beginning to do an inner search, and the only way I could do that was really asking God, show me and show me what you have for me. And through that, searching through scriptures, I found out there was more inside of me that God didn't, we go through seasons in life, and sometimes we get stuck in seasons. And that's what was happening with me. I got stuck in this season, and I thought there was no more. But I had to press past my thoughts, and I had to push past the process, and then realize there was a promise that was connected to me that God wanted me to go all the way through with. But
So walk me through women, right? Women out here watching right now. And there might be a mom because, we're in the middle of the day, they're taking care of kids. What do you tell them right now about taking care of self in the midst of all of that?
Right. I would tell them, take a moment. I have a mommy to me planner that I put together, and I tell them, do you plan for you? You plan for everybody else. You need to take a minute and really begin to examine, because that's what I had to do. What are you doing for you? Are you examining where you are? Are you happy? Are you sad? What's going on with you? This month is all about mental illness, right? But a lot of times mental health turns into mental illness because we're not healthy in our minds. And it's because of identity crisis. We don't know who we are. So I begin to tell them to plan. Come sit down and talk with me. I can walk you through this journey because that's exactly what I'm on, a journey and finding out who I really am.
So what are the next steps for you? I mean, you got the book coming out, you got
Right.
a book signing. What do you see coming up in the
Well,
future?
after this book was birthed, I got several more coming. I'm already working on book number 2,
Okay.
which is called Shepherd's Rod and Sheep Bites, because I'm a pastor of D3 Ministries. D3, yay, yay. And I love my church, my tribe, and we're going to be working on that, talking about just the active, being a pastor versus being a sheep, and the walk in that, because I was a sheep being led, and I knew that the rod that was being hit by the shepherd was kind of hard sometimes. But now that I'm a pastor, I understand the firmness of that happening, as well as the sheep going through processes. So we're going to write a book about that. And I also have tons of workshops coming up for moms. I have a mompreneur guide, how to walk through social media and learn how to get yourself out there, especially a person like me who was very secluded. My kids were my best friend, and so I had to break through some of that boxed in being alone. And so this guide that I created, because I'm a mom, so I'm a planner. I plan everything out for my kids, and I learned how to do that for me, will help other moms be able to step out and be bold and begin to do what they've been called to do.
So if somebody can't come to the book signing, how do they get your stuff?
Right. You can go to my website, which is ruthlanghorn.com, and get in contact with me. I love to engage with people. So as soon as you message me on ruthlanghorn@gmail.com, I'll get back to you. You can reach me on Facebook. It's Mommy to Me, and as well as Mommy to Me on Instagram.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Best wishes. Mott Haven Bar and Grill has
Bar
got
and
the
Grill.
book signing. Congratulations to you. And want to let you know the Mott Haven Bar and Grill is actually hosting that book signing with Ruth Langhorn from 12 to 3. And yes, it's Saturday, April the 27th. This Saturday, this time, It's About Me.
Yes.
It's also available on Amazon. Now, for more information, visit, as she said, ruthlanghorn.com.